What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Voin. We played a demo for this game that was constructed differently from the main game about 8 months ago, and I'm very pleased to say that in the time that I've spent playing the title, it's turned out to be much better than the demo implied. It appears as though over the last 8 months, the developer really took on board the advice that was given during that sort of Steam Next Fest demo and turned this thing into something that's actually really, really special. So today we're going to take a look at the game for about 30 minutes. We're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or if it's one of those games you would rather not play for yourself. If after watching this you did want to get the game for yourself, the early access is available down below in the description. You can check that out there, and then of course you can also take a look down there for links to my Discord, my Twitch stream, all that kind of fun stuff just in case you wanted to hang out live or talk to me in person. But let's dive on into this thing. What at its basic level is the game of Voin? Voin is a game that is heavily inspired by Diablo, Doom, and Skyrim. Those are the three things that I would say probably inspired this game. There's also a hefty helping of something like Elden Ring inside of there, where the game is highly dependent on like physical positioning and being aware of your surroundings and managing to dodge around all the stuff that's trying to annihilate you. So there's a number of influences here, and the nice thing about this game is that in tracking down all of these influences and figuring out what made them all good, they've managed to keep the stuff that works from all of those titles and discard the rest for a highly streamlined RPG experience in an open world, albeit a limited open world, where you can kind of do what you want, build your character how you want to build him, and then dive into a post-apocalyptic world that's full of the undead, annihilate lots of bad guys that have scythes on their arms and giant maces and sort of drooling nasty men in order to power up and make your character stronger. As of right now, I'm about an hour on into the game. I've done a couple of runs into this area, and the game does have an extraction shooter mechanic going for it as well. You pick up items, so this game has loot explosions just like Diablo, where you're going to find equipment which you can put on your character in order to chug together a build. You also can upgrade that equipment, like craft and make it better and all that kind of stuff. But there's loot right there. We got ourselves a red steel broadsword, but you'll notice that the entire card right there is written entirely in red. You cannot equip anything that is in red because it's been corrupted by the wasteland. Until you go back to town and you find a way to remove that corruption, you're not going to be able to use it. And if you die before you get back to base and get the item uncorrupted, the item just drops on the ground, and then you've got to come back in and do a corpse run just like you would in like an Elden Ring game or in a Dark Souls style game in order to get your stuff back. That little guy tried to get me. Now with these, oh, he almost got me right there too. So with these guys that we're fighting out here on the battlefield, you're going to notice that they have a couple of different glows. From what I recall, the last time I played the game actually functions entirely different now. So if you're using my old video as a frame of reference, I wasn't actually going to cover this game because I recently covered it, and I felt like, you know, the game probably hasn't changed that much, but I'm glad that I actually sat down and started fooling around with it this morning because they've actually made major changes here, the main one of which is, in older versions of the game that I played around with, the enemies would glow red, much like they would in Doom, as I recall, and you had to kind of like execute them with a heavy strike in order to get your health back. Not the case anymore. They've leaned full on into hack and slash, and now every single time you land a blow on any enemy, your health recharges by about 10% or like 5%. So you've got built-in life leech basically for getting your health back. Now don't get too excited and think that the game is going to be a slouch and it's going to be really, really easy for you to beat. You only have a tiny amount of health, so getting hit a couple times in rapid succession is more than likely going to be enough to put your ass to sleep. But as it stands right now, if you're doing a good job evading and staying away from bad guys, you should be able to recharge your health with the attacks that you're getting off, and I think that's a very, very good change, because one of the things I didn't like about the previous demo is that they put you in these horde-style combats where you're clearly expected to kind of like kill enemies with that execution move, but it was very difficult to pull off in hectic situations without getting yourself tagged again and just making the situation worse. This time around, you just regenerate. Right now, we're at full health, so I don't actually have anything on my bar right now showing my health, but there's a number of hearts that'll show up in the bottom left-hand corner. Once you've taken, I'll let one of these guys smack me here. There you go. See, I've got 4 hearts in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. I've got a relic right now that allows me to pop regeneration whenever I get smacked by an enemy, which makes my heart slowly come back. But if you were paying attention while I was smiting these dorks, you'll notice that the circle down there, it fills up, the little circle with the sword on it. And when it fills up all the way, you get that heart back. Thus comes the Doom influence of having to deal damage and be all up inside the enemy's business if you realistically want to get your health back in a timely fashion. There's a purple thing coming off of that over there. Let's go up to that cathedral right there. This game does have like a travel mode that we can initiate. I've got another relic that if I pick up these little wind things right there, it gives me a 60% movement speed buff. And so I can also teleport based on the blue pips that I have at the bottom of the screen. They allow me to dash charge through the air. And so I get the feeling, again, one of the big questions with this game was like, how do we take a Skyrim character and make him feel kind of like he's a superhero? Because believe me when I say, you've got lots of little powers inside of here. So as of right now, I've got lightning shocks that chain off of my hits right there. There was no one else for him to chain off to. Every single time I hit an enemy, you'll notice my sword has a little blue rune on it, those little rotating things right there. You trade those runes in for various effects on your heavy strike. Mine right now is if I heavy strike the enemy, it unleashes chain lightning on everything else around me. I also have a superhero stomp that I can pull off where if I fall from a certain distance, this game does not have fall damage. And so, in falling from a certain distance, instead of taking damage, you deal damage, which I think is a really cool sort of shifting of expectation right there. It means that you can get on top of tall stuff and you can superhero jump off of it, land in the middle of a bunch of enemies, and they'll all explode into lightning gore, which is really, really satisfying. So, did I go inside of here? I don't know if I went inside of here. Looks like I did not. There's a chest inside of here that I have yet to get anything out of. Ow, dude, I'm getting smoked right now. I'm having a terrible day at work. Ooh, this one has multiple rooms inside of it. So as you can see, not only are there exterior locations, there are also interior locations nested inside of there, which is great. Because there's a lot of games out there that just kind of do like a open world map and then don't put anything in it. In this game, there's actually Doom-style secrets, there's extra little dungeons that you can go into, lots of fun little things to play around with. The environments are destructible, so you can break all the little pots. They've all got very good sound effects that make the game feel satisfying to play. I've never gotten anything out of a pot or a jar, but the sound effect is so satisfying that I can't stop myself from doing it. Let's go ahead and pull back real quick. Got him out of the air, but these guys are going to be attacking in synchronicity with one another. The good news is we have a sword and we're in a hallway and we have cleaving, so it'll hopefully work out in our favor. Looks like we've got a bunch of loot crates inside of here that we can play around with. Watch out for any prompt that's green or white. If you see like a green or a white glow around, pretty solid chance that there's a treasure around, and there might be a switch that opens up a wall, or there might be a destructible wall, or something else like that that'll have a secret hidden behind it. This game does have that Doom energy, you know, that like that feeling where there's secret walls and hidden things all over the place. And so keep an eye out for them. This time around it's just from the torches, but I have found a number of secret loot chests just by paying attention for green glows and like white glows where they shouldn't necessarily be. So I'm going to try to carefully make my way towards the purple thing in the sky. You can leave the map at any time and bank your loot by looking up at the sky. In this game, you are the employee. You were resurrected from the dead to be the super soldier of a Heimdall-like guy who controls the gates to all the realms. There's some kind of terrible thing going on, and he needs you to get out there and slaughter and annihilate everything that might be causing those bad things to happen. Lots of white quality loot. Not what I'm looking for, but we can upgrade white quality loot to higher levels of loot as well, if that's what you want to do. So if you find something that really tickles your jimmies and makes you happy, don't concern yourself too much. You should be able to upgrade it to the point where it's commensurate with some of the rarer, better drops and has a lot more bonuses and things on it. Speaking of equipment, this is the equipment wheel right here. I actually don't have a ring on right now, but you've got rings, you've got weapons, you've got runes, you've got the heart. That's what animates your armor and keeps you alive, sort of Full Metal Alchemist style. The heart is the core of your being, and even even your HP in this game is customizable. You can take a heart that has way more HP but doesn't have a lot of bonuses to it. You can take a heart like I have that doesn't have a lot of health, but every time you get hit, you slowly regenerate an entire heart over the next X amount of time, which I found stacks very, very nicely with dealing damage and DPSing. You've got amulets. Amulets are going to give you mods to the way that your critical strikes work and the way that your attacks put debuffs on the enemy, like fire and ice and all that kind of thing. And then you've got a statuette over here. You've got kind of like an artifact, I guess. And artifacts do just all kinds of weird things. My owl statue right now makes it so that if I have my weapon put away, you see, where are they at? They got to be around here somewhere. There's one. Mine makes it so that these little wind things show up that make me run faster. I found that walk speed in this game was a little bit slow, so I sort of liked it that I had a bonus that made me traverse the level faster, especially since corpse runs are incorporated into the overall pacing of the game. Like, you're gonna die, you're gonna have to run back to your body, so why not be able to do it quicker, you know? Okay, giant cathedral place. I already looted out in front of here earlier, so there's not going to be any loot on this side. However, this guy right here, do I have to activate this again? This allows me to bring in the sky bridge and escape if I want to, but I don't know if it needs to be activated twice. Yeah, it's already activated. Okay. I don't know what that does. I'm guessing at some point it'll allow me to come directly here after I die, or when I want to come back to the map. I'm guessing it's some kind of checkpoint or waypoint, but I haven't gotten that far into the game yet to suss out exactly what it's going to be useful for. There we go. Taste my lightning. Yeah, it's what you get. Those gore chunks that are popping out of the enemy that I'm seemingly collecting, they're shards of corruption that you use back in base to level up your character. You use them to level up your equipment. I use them to do all kinds of things, and so we definitely want to pick those up as we're cruising through this location. Was there a side room back there? I did have to adjust the FOV when I first started playing the game, but the good news here is that the options menu had everything that I was looking for. So there were a bunch of minor annoyances with this game that I ran into when I first started playing, simply visually. The main one being that the FOV was way too tight for me, and so I hesitantly went to the options hoping to see, but expecting, given modern gaming standards, that there would not be an FOV slider, but there was. And there was also one for the head bob on my character so that I could get rid of it, so that I could walk smoothly around the levels. There was also one for, what are you? Nom, the Summoner of Tears. Nom, the Summoner of Tears don't seem to take too much damage. I've been weakened. Okay, so she put an AoE on the ground right there. I need to smack her a little more. There we go, get in there. Solid DPS on that side. I think we took a little bit of damage right there, but I think we'll be all right because there's plenty of mook mobs around. Oh, these guys are throwing fireballs at me. Okay, that's something probably to pay attention to. Oh my god. I am going through dash charges right now like crazy. Got you, perfect. All right, let's get back in here and see if we can get at least a little more DPS off and maybe cleanse this place of the rot that exists inside. Oh, he dodged my attack. Got you. I don't think I have any runes, though, for my heavy strike, so I think I got to get some runes back. There we go. All right, you. Get you with a heavy strike, launch some lightning all over the place. I think we got her, dude. I think we got her. We have, like, ridiculous levels of regeneration right now that I think are just keeping us in situ. All right, let's move back over here. I think she caught me with whatever that AoE was, but it didn't deal damage, so it looks like it just put a debuff on me. She's dead? Yeah, she got taken out. All right, so let's grab the rose. We've got a screeching necklet. We've got the runes of the purist. We've got a whole bunch of goodies over here. What did she drop? A northern heart. Nice. So there's 6% chance of you just not taking damage when you get hit, and for every health that's missing, you get more damage. I could take that. And we've also got another black razor right here. I already picked up one of those. I don't know if duplicate items allow you to do anything with them when you get further on into the game, but it looks like we've managed to do something with this location. I don't see anything that indicates that I've cleansed this location or made it better, but we did find a secret treasure back here. Hey, we've got an upgraded version of the Runes of Gathering Storm, which is the one that I'm using right now. Green version of the Ritual Skull, too, which I think I only have a white version of, so that'll save me a little bit of money on upgrades as well. She's down. We're sitting on about 4,000 of our goo right now. I'm guessing I'm supposed to go up there and activate whatever's up there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys want to get smacked? There you go. Enjoy my lightning. Take it straight to the forehead. It's extra zesty. When dispensing lightning, I very much prefer that it be extra zesty style. A little bit of a lightning hop right there, but not much of one. There we go. We'll get him laid out as well. Out was doing a lot of heavy lifting inside that sentence. If the out wasn't there, that's one of those weird sentences that changes its meaning entirely. Looks like our debuff is falling off of us, so that's good. Those are teleportation spots right there. You got to get close enough to them that you can grab onto them, and it'll let you, like, grapple them, basically, and then it'll pull you up to the top of the tower. But you got to get close enough in the first place. A few more enemies that need to be dispatched. Luckily, my gear seems to be carrying me on this map right now. Let me take a look around for secrets, though. They've got secrets everywhere in this game, and so I feel naturally inclined just to look around and see if I can find those said secrets. But the current build of the game is way better than the demo build. The demo build showed promise. The final release shows that the developer is actually listening to the community, working with producers and stuff like that, and like really honed and refined this thing down like sharpening a pencil of all the unnecessary ancillary stuff or ancillary stuff that didn't need to be there in order to get the game as pulse pounding and as fast and frenetic as it needs to be in order for it to be an addictive title. And so I respect it, dude. That's really good, solid work. Give yourself some credit if you're not. What are you? Never seen you before. What do you do? Oh, you got combos, huh? Okay. Well, here, I got staggers, and I'm gonna give them to you. Right upside your dome piece. Whoop. Upside your head. I don't think we got a lightning blast right there, but it's okay. I think we'll be good. He almost got me. What the hell is that thing? Do I want it? What is it? A scroll of Hadricon. A new world area has been discovered. Okay, so we unlocked a level. I'm not crazy positive that I found everything on this map, but seeing as the loot is kind of Diablo style, like it's not special, specific, unique loot that you can only get on that level from what I've seen so far. It's just randomized drops. Let me show you, this is my base right here. This is where I live, and the Heimdall guy tells me what I can and can't do. We've got to go back to this part of the base. And then I will do my best to show you some of the customizable things you can do to make your character stronger. So you've got the Forge, that's through the Red Gate, and I figured I'd talk about this stuff because it seemed like there was some confusion when I was on the Steam forums. It seemed like there was a number of people really struggling with figuring out the progression methods of this game. But this is the Forge. Inside the Forge, there's going to be a pylon. Every single pylon corresponds to a piece of gear that you have equipped. If you donate the amount of resources it asks for, it allows you to ring the bell. It further purifies that piece of gear of corruption and upgrades it to the next color status, so white becomes green, green becomes blue, blue becomes purple, so on and so forth, adding a +1 to each one of the affixes that this item has on it. On top of that, there's a secondary area over here. This is for masterworking your gear. So once you get things up to like Primeval or Firstborn Artifact level, this will allow you to satiate them. I don't know exactly what satiation means because I haven't gotten to that mechanic just yet, but it needs to be of Primal or Firstborn rarity, so I'm guessing this is just how you make stuff that's at like maximum purity even better. It's kind of like using those orbs from Path of Exile that re-roll the affixes at different levels to see if they get stronger would be my assumption, but I could be wrong about that. This is the Hall of Reflection right here. Inside the Hall of Reflection, you can level up your character by walking through this big red gate over here, provided you have enough zombie gore laying around inside your inventory. I don't know if I have enough. It doesn't really give you an indicator. I'm now level 3, so there you go. I did have enough in order to make that work. I had enough to go up to level 4 as well. And so being at level 4 has made it so I have plus 15% to all of my damage, which will be helpful. It doesn't really give me a health boost or anything else like that, because that comes from your heart and from upgrading your heart, but it should be fine. In the early access, there's a number of tabs here that are grayed out. We can't go to the journal, so I'm guessing they're going to put quests out in the open world that you can find, and you can help out people that are living in the landscape. There's a world right here that I can't click or get into. Maybe it unlocks later. Maybe it's not in the early access. And then there's also a character sheet over here, which seems to me, I feel like you could upgrade stats and stuff when I played the demo of this game. So it's possible that with all the major changes that the game went through, that they've taken that out for now to reconfigure it around how the game works now versus how it worked in the demo, but I don't know. The final thing that we need to do is we need to cleanse all of our gear because we picked up all that stuff off the ground. This big bell right here is how you cleanse your gear. There you go. And so now every single piece of equipment inside of our inventory has been cleansed, and we are now able to utilize it. If we die, we do not drop anything that's been cleansed on the ground. It is now permanently one of our possessions. Once you get to later on gameplay, you can get on top of this thing right here, and it'll give you deterministic crafting, but only for items that are like legendary in quality. You can transfer the affixes around between them to basically masterwork your gear and make it do exactly what you want it to do. And so I did want to mention that that's up there because it's very, very easy to miss if you don't see the little teleporter spot right there while you're looking at everything else. Let's get back out here and let's go on another adventure. I think I got a ring on that last run. Taking damage to a temporary heart charge causes an explosion that deals 50 physical damage to monsters nearby. That is not that helpful to me right now, but I'll equip it just in case. I did want to mention as well, there are other kinds of weapons. So you can get giant two-handed swords, you can get mauls and crushers, you can get flamberges, you can get hammers. There's all kinds of things inside the game. There's even little knives that you can run around with and just stabby a guy if that's what you want to do. So there are different combos and different attack styles and different attack speeds as well. Alright, so let's check out this new location now that I've given you a brief tour of the base and kind of see what happens out here, what kind of trouble we can get into. Alright, so I got my blade, I'm all ready to rock. Hadricon actually kind of looks like the zone that we did from the demo, so I think this was the one that they used for the gameplay preview. Let's go have a look around. I did swap out my weapon because I like the affixes on this one better. It had two different berserking affixes that made me feel mighty fine about my prospects for the future, and so I should be stacking up crazy amounts of damage the more I deal damage to enemies and the more I get hit. Yeah, you see that meter filling up? I think the more I attack and the more I kill, I like berserk on out and can wipe out enemies even better. I get like a 5% bonus to my damage after all that. I don't see anything in the sky that's sort of indicating where I need to go, so we probably need to activate something first before we're going to have the ability to move on to a new level. Oh, there's a chest up there. I see it. All right, let me deal with these guys real fast. You do have abilities, too. I guess I didn't talk about abilities. So bottom right-hand corner, you have hotkeys. Hotkeys will do different things. Everything from kind of like super combos. So, for example, I've got one that allows me to... Ooh, I'm berserking. Nice. Hell yeah, light that fool on fire. I do want to light the world on fire. I do want to put a flame in your heart. Let's go over here and get that chest. Bam. Get some goodies from right. Did something just shoot at me? Oh, that was thunder in the sky. Okay, I know the difference between weather and a threat. Which way do I want to go? Let's travel down this road real fast, and we'll go check out this tower. Looks like we got a couple of enemies at the end of the road anyways. Yeah, so let's see if we can get the drop on these guys over here. Give me a little bit more air. Drop down on them. That was cleaner than I expected it to be. I wasn't expecting that to look as cinematic as it did. Me just flying through the air anime style and annihilating my enemies. Oof, I got smacked. Those little range guys are a liability, man. If you see a red flash along the side of your screen, dodge. That would be the smartest thing to do. I don't really need that tutorial. I think that one already popped up before. I don't think that that's going to be a prevailing issue, but let's check out these ruins and see if there's anything good inside of them that's going to make us a little bit more efficient at our job of killing guys in the face. Nope, not going to let you hit me. Get you with some lightning right there, maybe soften him up. Good stuff. I feel like I'm kind of like overpowering everything around here. I don't see any indicator that there's something up there, but I still want to look and see. I don't see anything, but it was worth checking. I don't really see anything over here either. You just go to sleep and leave. Ow! Oh, I didn't even see that little guy back there. I didn't even know he was there. We got a quartz heart. Piezo electricity. Adds a temporary charge upon receiving damage. I don't know what that means, so I'd have to look at it more. And then we've got a Mithridium Claymore. Okay, Mithridium sounds dope. I can get some Mithridium. I don't know if I can swim. I know that I can fall very, very large distances. Oh, there's power over there. Hold up. How hard is it going to be to make this jump? Not that hard, actually. So this thing right here allows me to buy a new power. And I have been kind of craving a new power. There we go. Gimme! There we go. We absorbed a mode of power. So that'll allow me to buy a new ability.
That way leads to silence, where even echoes fear to tread.
Oh, okay. Then I suppose I won't go that way. I mean, I'm not an echo, though, either. I'm kind of hard as hell, bro. Look at me and my sword right now. I'm radiating lightning. Let me buy a new power. We've only got a couple of them over here. These are all hidden, so we can't get those yet. We can get Vortex that lets us throw our weapon, turning it into kind of like an AoE. Okay. We can also do a Lightning Sting, where we leap backwards, hovering momentarily as we gather electric energy, and then plunge forward in a precision strike, channeling a burst of lightning through the weapon. That seems on theme with what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, and it's just got a cooldown. It doesn't cost me anything else. Sick. Mulching my way through a toxic fart gas forest and trying to stay away from all these undeads that want to murder me. There we go. Get a little bit of lightning off. I'm trying to get some health back. A fragile guardian heart. Okay, I'll take it. I don't have time to look at all this stuff. One thing I haven't found, I'm guessing it unlocks later in the game, is I haven't found a way to, like, melt any of the equipment that I'm picking up to get resources or, you know, shards for forging new gear or anything else in there. But it seems like an obvious thing for a game like this to have, considering the loot volume that they stack up. Where'd that guy go? That they stack upon the... Oh my god. Yeah, he didn't like that. He didn't like that one bit. I went straight bullet time on his ass. My other ability charges up all the runes on my weapon instantaneously and makes me stronger. I caught that one at just the right moment. Got you. Alright, so what's inside of here? Anything that I need to be aware of? Some knives. The snakes. And they're not corrupted. Those are the best daggers I've seen so far. They're daggers that have sword level damage, and I've been building my character around poison stacks, so that might be a cool thing to pick up. I'm gonna see if there's anything up here. And in fact, on climbing all the way up here, there's a sky node. So I'll go ahead and hit that real fast. We now have a sky node. Cool. Is there anything up there? No, there's nothing up here, but there is a really cool vantage point that we can hang out at and take a look at the beautiful scenery and environment. I like it. I think the Voin's really, really good. My thoughts about the game, I don't really have anything negative to talk about right here. This is a really, really good combination of Skyrim, Doom, a little bit of Diablo inside of there, a little bit of Souls-like gameplay. Very fast, very reactive, very fluid. Everything feels good about it. And so I don't really see too many things to complain about. I've only played for like an hour and a half, but this is looking like the beginning of a beautiful early access that hopefully turns into something even more awesome as time goes along. And given how dialed in this developer has the core gameplay of his game, it's one of those things where not only does he understand his...
Stars do not
okay, all right, that's fine. It's one of those cases where this developer had an idea, but he also understands what needs to happen for that idea to work. and the core things that oh, there's more of them over there. The core things that make the idea work. And so anyways, this is probably going to end up being a really, really rad title as it goes through its early access. This is an easy recommend. Pass with flying colors. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what is worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with Voin. Tomorrow, we'll be doing something else. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me, and I will catch you all later. Bye, folks.